I have your brain scanned and permanently backed up in case something terrible happens to you, which it's just about to.
Alright, we got our pieces dug out that we're going to need. And do make sure that you keep your orientation correct, that this is 25-1 and 25-2. And then we have the 268B-1, which actually didn't have a tree number on it for some reason. The tree was just two parts without a number. But you can see what this looks like. And go ahead and grab that off your tree. Now, I did miss a step. Like I said, there was a lot going on. And we need to take these two little clips, which are labeled 31-3 in the directions. However, they are different numbers on the trees. So they're just little plastic, it looks like wire clips. So again, grab those off your tree, and you're going to have to visually do it because the part numbers are wrong. And to revisit this and put these on, these are going to go onto the far side of the chassis on these two screws that we put in. And instead of using button head screws, we're going to go ahead and use the beveled screws to put those on. So we're going to go ahead and revisit this and put these back in and do it right as we go along. There we go. There's a lot going on. It doesn't look that complicated on the directions, but once you start getting into it and looking for parts and whatnot, there's quite a bit going on here, but we'll get through it. Alright, now that these are installed, see there how those go on. Now we're going to go ahead and install what looks to be part number 25-1 and 26B-1. And as we look at it, we have our bend that starts up, and it looks like these go into this side. We have the bend that comes up. It looks like these are going to mount into the railing system, into the first set of holes. So we'll align that up, and then it looks like this, with the proper orientation, is going to mount up like so to go ahead and hold those in. And we need to use the beveled screws. So we're going to go ahead and pull out 4 of those and get these mounted up. And you don't want to over tighten these. You just want them to thread in and touch, and then just a little bit more. As I'm threading into the plastic here, I can feel that if I tighten it down too much, it's going to strip, and we just don't need that. So I'll get these 2 mounted up. Get the other 2 mounted up here. You have to float that around in there and push on it to get it lined up properly. Okay, so we've got this mounted up now. Take a quick look. And now we are going to go on another parts hunt, and we're going to put on this next forward brace, which is 26A1 and 46E1, which looks like, I don't know, some kind of light posts or whatever, but it holds the front on. So, camera off, going to do some parts digging, and we'll be right back. Righty, we found the parts. Took us a minute. What I'm assuming is that these particular parts here are for Honcho exclusive, and there's many different kits packed in the main package because we had to dig into the secondary plastic bag to find these parts that go in the front here, which are 26A1 and 46. I'm sorry, the 26A-1 was in the normal kit, and the 46E was in the secondary plastics bag. So there were some parts that looked very similar to this but were different, which we probably won't use. So let's note the orientation on the 26A, and there are pins in the back and a screw hole in the front. So we're going to go ahead and see if we made a mistake by tightening everything up here or not. Nope, we didn't. And we're going to go ahead and slide this in until the pin takes on that farthest hole back, which you can see right here, the pin and then the screw hole. Yeah, pin, screw hole. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for the next piece here. And it doesn't look like the orientation matters on that, so we're going to go ahead and slide that in. And the pins are going to grab in the farthest back hole here and the screw hole here. So we're going to go ahead and put the screws into these two holes on both sides. This is actually moving along pretty quick. This is a fun kit. I'm really enjoying this. Again, don't screw them in too hard. You don't want to strip the plastic out. If you do, for some reason, strip the plastic out, you can put a drop of CA glue in there, or super glue, and just don't tighten it down too much, and it'll help hold that screw in. Or you can get machine screws from a secondary screw kit that I know a lot of different companies make. But we're building this stock out of the box, so we're going to use what's given to us. Okay, now that this is done, we're going to go parts digging again, and we're going to go ahead and work towards the other end of the vehicle. As you can see now, these are mounted up. And ready to go. So now we are going to go parts hunting for these three parts, which are the next in line towards the back. Alright, to save you a little bit of agony, we went ahead and assembled the rear portion here, and we'll go ahead and show you. The main thing to remember is orientation and everything, and you can see that the machined portion of this is going to go down. And then go ahead and put them on like so. And also, you're going to want to put them in the second screw forward, or yeah, towards the hell, I'm assuming that's the back. The front, I don't know which way is front or back on this thing. But as you're doing it, as you come up this little curve here, you want to make sure that that portion goes in the second hole. We've gone ahead and moved forward and pulled out the part 46E-5, which is a bumper here, and I'm not sure if this is the front bumper or the rear bumper. But the cool thing is that they included a space here where you can put your LEDs in. And if you'll notice, I've got installed on this, if we can get it focused in, is they have little LED clips. And that's this little teeny tiny little clip here. Focus. There we go. That's that little clip here. And it screws in with a very, very, very small machine screw. We're not going to put LEDs in here right now, but I am going to install the LED holders. That way they don't get lost in case I want to put some in later. And they just very simply screw right on. And it'll clip your LEDs in when or if you happen to get them. And then now we're going to install this back piece onto, I keep kind of saying back, I don't know if this is the back or the front. Nothing has become apparent yet, but we're going to go ahead and put this in. Going to align the pins up, The holes will line up, and we're going to go ahead and install. Now I think, bar missing something, that this is going to complete step number 32, which wasn't difficult, but there was a lot going on there. We're starting to get a pretty nice looking chassis going here too. Starting to take shape and starting to look like something now. Okay, so now we're going to set that aside and turn the page and see what the next page brings. Oh boy. Looks like we are going to start mounting up axles and whatnot. So let me dig parts out. We'll be right back.
Do not touch the operational end of the device. Do not look directly at the operational end of the device. Do not submerge the device in liquid, even partially.